Hey everybody, so I figured I would just do a complete video about the jaw surgery and everything from start to finish, as opposed to posting a whole bunch of different TikToks, which I mean, I'll probably still post them anyways, just because I guess it'll give you guys a better view on into what actually was going down around the time instead of like trying to remember all the details now. But so yeah, let's get started. So the actual day I had surgery was August or October 31st of 2022. So basically what they did in total was they cut the bottom jaw right about here, I think, and then angled it because my jaw before surgery was angled down too far, so it has pretty much exponentiated the separation of the front teeth a little bit more, and I had basically only the back teeth here touching at first. So it caused a little bit of a speech issue too for the first 28 years until I had this done. So, but anyways, I had also had my top jaw pretty much cut off straight across here and moved forward, and because the surgeon said that was going to be the better option than to try and move my jaw back. He said the muscles tend to recoil and come back forward, and it's a whole lot better of a process moving the top jaw as compared to the bottom jaw. So, long story short, uh, they moved the top jaw forward about 3/4 of an inch, and they cut and re-angled the bottom jaw so that way everything would line up perfect. He did the simulated surgery like 4 times on like both plaster teeth sets and like I think an actual like cadaver skull that they had like set up for my similar situation. So that way everything was like really ready to go and came out perfect. So because he'd basically done the surgery before. Um, so leading up to the surgery, I had a pretty significant underbite for since I was born, or at least as long as I remember. And I had, which wasn't necessarily the biggest issue yet, but according to my surgeon and stuff, it could and would have caused issues later on down the road, just with like general health because I wasn't chewing as well as everybody else was. So he said that was one of the leading causes of it needing to be done. But so I had originally had a consultation with a doctor in Illinois when I lived back there. And then when I moved out here to Utah for school, I had went and got a different orthodontist and a different surgeon, and so I ended up having all of it done out here. So I had been in braces since May 12th of 2020. So a pretty significant amount of time. And the last, I would say, 18 months, maybe a little less, were out here with my orthodontist out here in Utah. And from there, I had gone and gotten everything pretty much right to the point where it needed to be to line up. So that way, all the surgical measurements and layout was known and he could do the surgery. So after I did that, I gotten probably 3 pre-surgical appointments and consultations with him, and the one right before, it was like 2 weeks before my surgery, was like the big one. What to expect, what recovery was going to be like, what I was allowed to do, what I wasn't allowed to do, and basically just how life was going to be for the next few months after the surgery. So, fast forward a few weeks, it's D Day, it's day of the surgery. Get to the hospital at like, I don't know, think we got there at 5 in the morning. So get there, get all checked in, and he comes in and basically just a little bit of trying to reassure me. And I've, from plenty of other surgeries before, I've had 4 on my right ankle, 1 on my shoulder. Like, I'm well versed in surgery, so I wasn't really too nervous for it. I mean, I was a little bit more apprehensive just because it was my face and they were doing like significant moving and reconstructing of like structures. So I was probably a little more nervous for this one than the other ones, but really came out for no need because didn't really even need to be. But so I had the surgery done, and usually when I go under for anesthesia, I'm out like for a while. I don't know why. My body just kind of reacts to it and says, you're going to sleep for a while. So basically, I wake up and I think it was like a 4.5 hour surgery, and it started at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Got out. It was like got out about 12:30 ish. I don't think I woke up till probably 4:30, 5 o'clock, and my face was like super swollen. And they had this thing called the jaw bra. I'll throw a picture in of it, and I got some pictures of me wearing it. But basically, what it is it's this elastic cloth band that goes around your face with pockets in it for ice packs. So pretty much my whole face was like squished in there, and just because it was so swollen, I mean, if I had to guess, my face was probably about out to here just with the swelling. It was insane. My lips and everything were all puffy and pushed out, but like that was to be expected because it was a pretty monster surgery. So I have photos that I'm gonna be throwing in here in the video of like the first couple hours after the surgery, obviously before and after photos, like 8-12 hours after the surgery, the days after, 2 days after, a week after, a few weeks after, months after, until now where everything's normal. Braces are off. Had my last orthodontist appointment today. No longer need to wear my clear retainers except at night. So all throughout the day, I don't have to wear them, which is going to be really nice because they're kind of annoying to take in and out to eat, but is what it is. But yeah, so back to the surgery. I had all that stuff done. Ended up with an incision on the top and bottom here, and back here on both sides. So in total, there was 6 incisions spots. And I'll throw the x-rays of my most recent x-rays of my face on so you guys can see the hardware and stuff that's in my face. It looks pretty gnarly. But so I have plates here and here, and I think the same down here. Yeah, I can kind of feel it a little bit right there, but right there, and one right back here. So right after the surgery, and the same thing on this side too. But so right after surgery, it was honestly the worst part about it was probably the incisions. The incisions, like normal stitches and stuff, like they burn. It just, for whatever reason, the super fine cuts, for me at least, they always burn. So yeah, it was basically just the burning sensation, and from like here down was numb. And even to this day, I have a little bit of numbness left, just like right here. It's not like completely numb. It's only a little bit, but like just still enough to notice. And like if I brush my teeth hard enough on this side, I'll feel it. Just because there's still some nerve damage. Because when they cut and re-angled this, they actually had to pull pull the nerve up and out of the little pocket it rides in the jaw. So it got beat up a little bit. So there is a potential chance that I might never get the complete feeling back right here, which, if that's the worst case scenario, I'm okay with it. It's not that big of a deal. It gets a little annoying at times, but is what it is. So yeah, I was lucky enough to have my mom come out here It was her first time coming to Utah, so she was unfortunately didn't get to explore a whole lot. I tried to get her out as much as I could. The days, I think she came out like 2 days before, so the 2 days before, I tried to get her out to experience as much of the beautiful scenery out here as possible, but after that, she pretty much was kind of stuck here with me. Same thing with my girlfriend. She lives out here now, so and she did at the time of the surgery, but they were both kind of stuck here taking care of me for the first week at least, because I was pretty bedridden for the most part. I got up and moved somewhat, but they wanted me to be on bed rest for a better portion. But so yeah, fast forward a couple weeks, and I was going back in for checkups and everything was looking good. And I had this like a polycarbonate almost brace that they put on the top jaw right along the teeth, and they use these like metal clips to hold it in. And for whatever reason, no matter how good I brushed, I used a water pick, mouthwash, all this stuff, and it still came out like disgusting. And he said that's normal, but like it reeked. It was terrible. So if you have jaw surgery, like expect it. It's gonna happen. It is what it is. Sorry, I keep touching my nose. My mustache is making it itch because I got a couple hairs that are bending up. But that's side note. Anyways, yeah. So I had I had that done back in October, and for the first, I don't know, 3 weeks, I didn't eat at all because like I had to go through the little spot back here where there's no like your teeth stop. So I had to feed through there, and it hurt. It was annoying, and with like the drainage and stuff and all the bleeding, it was just more of a hassle than a necessity to me at that point. So then, as soon as I got the heavy duty elastics, because that's how they did it when I still had my braces on, were heavy duty elastics on the surgical hooks. So when those got cut off and I was on light elastics, I could open up a little bit. I still had that bracket on, or the brace, and luckily though it was right around Thanksgiving that the heavy duty elastics came off, so I was able to actually open my mouth. Sorry, my video cut off. So, like I was saying, it was around Thanksgiving, and I was able to like eat some stuff, and I found a loophole of cutting stuff up like super small and basically being able to gum it and mash it up with my tongue. So I was finally back in business of eating like normal good food again, which was a lot better than the stuff that I had that was like in the uh, bottles that they give you, and everything's like blended up, so it's nothing but smoothies and liquid food. So once I started getting like solid food again, I was super happy. It was probably one of the best days of my life again. um, but yeah, so after that, the next big milestone with it was getting the brace off, and that was right before Christmas. I think December 13th or 16th, something like that. But yeah, so once the brace came off and I was cleared to go back to the orthodontist and to finish up the braces, which came off in March. So it hasn't been super long, but it's been long enough for me to know that I definitely don't want to go back to braces. But yeah, so now that that's all done, everything is lined up. Everything feels great. It touches. It was the weirdest experience of my life when I first had it done, and my teeth touched. My front teeth touched for the first time in my life. I was honestly in shock because had never experienced it. Like taking a bite of a sandwich, I'd always have like mismatched uh, mismatched sides because my underbite, so the bottom would take more than the top would, so there'd always be like little S portions, bit not of food. I made it work for 28 years, but luckily I don't have to anymore. So, yeah, it was super cool. Like I said, I'll throw up all the before and after stuff and show kind of like the progression of how that all went from the time of like my right before in the photos I took, and then all the photos I took along the journey of recovery. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, I'll throw all those up for before and after. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys found this interesting. If you have any questions, comment, and I'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. And if you like it, like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm gonna probably start vlogging on this channel of just all my daily adventures. So like me in flight school, becoming a private pilot, my day job as a aircraft mechanic at the school I go to for flying, hunting and fishing adventures out here in Utah, hiking, just like all sorts of different stuff. So yeah, follow along if you guys are interested. I'd really appreciate it, and hope I see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.